Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about how your last date went. And I have 4 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, and this will be group number 4. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. And yeah, I love doing personal readings for you guys. So check that out. Yeah, but let's focus on this reading right here. Pick your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Jolanda Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1? The people who will choose group number 1. The people who will choose group number 1. How did their last date go? How did group number 1's last date go? I feel like it went horribly for you. I feel like you're asking about a date that was a bummer for you. And so I'm sensing that the disappointment is actually more on your side than it was on their side. But I'm gonna do some channeling about what your date thought of you. So, okay, Spirit, what did group number 1's date, the person group number 1 dated the last time, what did their date think of group number 1? Okay, so I'm sensing that your date actually found you to be fine, quite lovely to talk to. So I feel like I don't know if you dated someone who has absolutely no sense of like social cues, or like, because I feel like from your point of view this was not a good date, but I feel like from your date's point of view, this went quite all right, and they don't even understand why it didn't work out. So, I don't know if you ghosted this person or if you were the one ending this, but I'm sensing that it was. So, but yeah, I think it's like, yeah. I don't know if this person was on the spectrum or like, or was just really socially awkward or something, but I am sensing that. Okay, so with the Emperor here, I feel like it was definitely the like, if you're the feminine, I feel like it was the masculine who was maybe to blame for this. But of course, if you're the masculine, then maybe this also went wrong because you didn't come into this state with an open mind. So there could be both things that come to play here, because I feel like, and even if you're a female, I feel like maybe that also did make maybe you didn't really give this person a chance from the get-go. But I feel like that's maybe also understandable, because maybe this person showed a very unflattering side of themselves quite early on. So there really wasn't any point in giving this person a second chance. So I feel like, yeah, I'm sensing with the panda bear on this card that maybe there was some laziness from either one of yours, like that one person put in most of the effort into getting the conversation going, and the other person just laid back and relaxed and let the other person just do all the work. And maybe I feel like it was the person you dated that was the lazy one, the one who didn't even make an effort in like trying to find something you two had in common to talk about. Like that it's like the conversation just ended really quickly on, and then it was just forced to keep rolling. But it actually like ended like 10 minutes after the date started, and it might have made it really awkward on you because you're the one with like social understanding, and maybe the other person, the person you dated, did not have the social understanding to understand that this was really awkward for you, that this was really making you uncomfortable, that they didn't contribute at all to the conversation. And I think from their point of view, they didn't really think that much about it. I think they didn't really think about all the awkward pauses and all this the awkward silence. It didn't really bother them that much. So yeah, I'm gonna see. So with the Eight of Wands, I feel like maybe you kind of wanted this to end earlier than the other person, and I feel like maybe you tried to kind of get away from this situation. I don't know, but I feel like maybe this like I just feel like you already knew very early on, and so everything that happened after that was maybe just courtesy, that you just wanted to be nice, and so you kept going. And maybe you kind of wanted to give this person a chance to redeem themselves, like that you didn't want to judge them unfairly just because they might have said something in the beginning that kind of turned you off. But with this Eight of Wands, like it also makes me think of the hamster wheel, or like that. That there's something about running and running and running and never actually getting anywhere. Like trying really hard, but without actually without anything changing. Like trying to get this person to talk, but like, and really trying to get the ball rolling, but the ball just stopped because it was only you who were actually making an effort. And so but I feel like that there is something about a conversation that I'm like something that you two had a conversation about work and what you did for a living, and I don't know if you if you were the one who put like judgment on this person's line of work, or if it was the other way around. But I feel like it was the other way around. I feel like this person might have said something about your work that kind of rubbed you the wrong way and made you feel like they didn't really respect what you did for a living, like that they didn't really understand it, or didn't want to understand it, like they didn't want to ask any questions about it. It was just like you said it and they didn't actually seem interested or even a bit curious about what you do, because maybe you do something that's actually a bit different, and something that usually that you usually get a lot of questions about, because people are interested in knowing what it actually is, like because it might be something a bit unique, and this person just didn't even care to ask about it, like and I feel like that was also a deal breaker. But yeah, I think. But what does this person think about you? With the 7 of Wands reversed, I feel like this person actually thought. Because when the 7 of Wands is upright, it's someone who's unattainable. It's someone who's out of reach. It's someone who's on top. And with it reversed, I feel like this person actually thought it would be easy to win you over, and they might have even thought like that they were well on their way to get in your pants, like that they might have had some kind of delusion going on, that they really thought this really thought this was going really well, and they thought they were getting some, like they really I don't know why yeah, but they, and I think that, yeah, but I'm gonna shuffle some more about what they thought of you on this date. What did they think of you on this date? Okay, with the Queen of Swords, I think they saw you as a bit cold, and this might have been like at the end of the date, if you two didn't actually get anywhere, like if the date ended without a happy ending, then I think this person felt like you were just being a bit cold, like. But I feel like I feel like even though this person thought you were a bit cold, I think they still believed that they could warm you up, like that they could get you, yeah. Yeah, they thought they could get you hot and heavy, and like that it would be that somehow I think even when you rejected this person, I think they still thought, oh, you're gonna come running back to them, like that you're gonna want some, and I don't know like where this person gets all this confidence. It's kind of beyond me. I don't understand how somebody so boring and dull can end up thinking they are like the God's gift to humanity, like that. But yeah, this person probably was raised by a mother who was smothering and made them believe that even when they were making the least effort possible, they were still the star in her eyes. Or something. I'm not like, I'm just trying to like understand how this happened. Like how did this person end up with all this pizzazz, I guess. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I think they never really lost hope. I think they might have still. I don't know if this, like, I don't know why, but I feel like they still have some hope that they could, like, that they could like hit you up and you would be down to do something with them. Like, I don't know. I think they believe they are very good company, so I think they can't really picture you rejecting them again. Like, if you have rejected them once, they probably just think you had something else you had to do. Like, if you gave them some kind of excuse that you had to get home to do your laundry or something, they might not have understood that was an excuse, obviously, but they might have just believed, oh, that makes sense. That's probably the reason. So, but yeah, but I think this person, I'm gonna shuffle a bit. I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards to get a bit more information on what your date thought of you, what your last date, the person you dated, what this person thought of you. Okay. Okay. So first of all, the blank card. This person, like, this person thought, I'm gonna get to the blank card later, but they thought of you as a goddess. So they thought of you as very attractive, and it also and very feminine, very beautiful, very sexy, and with a femme fatale. They thought of you as very erotic, as someone with a very erotic energy, very feminine energy. Very tempting, very like, very like, they thought you were. They probably thought that you were flirting with them too. I think maybe you were in the beginning, but then like it might have faded a bit. But I think they did. I don't know if they noticed that the flirting kind of stopped at some point. But with the Prince card, it says romantic charm and potential for power. So romantic charm, they like, and also powerful. Probably this person could probably kind of understand, like, to that like maybe at the end that you were the one in power of where this was going, and they also respected that okay, you're maybe a classy person and you don't want to have sex on the first date or something, but they probably saw your rejection as that it's just that you don't want to have sex with them now, that you're probably gonna want to have sex with them later, but that was probably not what you meant. So I don't know, but I just think maybe you were kind of trying to say no to them in the most respectful way possible, but I think they just didn't really get that. They just saw it as an open ending, and that it was going to be filled up later. That there was more, like that the door wasn't closed. But yeah, there's really, like, I feel like if you're a man, they saw you as a prince. It's probably so, like, this doesn't have to be like masculine or feminine, but like I'm just gonna like I think they saw you as a prince. I think if you're a female, they saw you as a goddess, and like and a femme fatale, and so there's just this very, very, like, they really actually saw you as something like they really were very attracted to you. So I don't know why this person wasn't kind of like discouraged by this, because everybody else would be discouraged, but that must mean that they find themselves to be up your alley, like up your level, that they are right there with you in your in your league, and so they probably didn't see why they shouldn't be able to date you, because you're like this in their mind, but maybe in reality they are more like here and you're like here, personality wise especially. Like maybe when it comes to appearance you might match each other okay well. Maybe you're still a bit more handsome or more beautiful than this person is, but that really doesn't even matter in all of this, because what matters is, like, at the end of the day, what matters is personality. And when you have a shitty personality, it really doesn't matter what package you're delivering it in. So, but yeah, but I think this person thought the date went well. They thought you were, like, they would want to hit you up again. Like, they would want to date you again. Like, I think I don't think they see any reason why not. But with a blank card, I think they don't really care about your personality, and that is something you probably already know. And that is why you were turned off by this person, is that you started talking about yourself and like your line of work and what you do for a living, and this person might have completely just zoned out of that conversation and didn't even listen and didn't even care, and might even have interrupted you and talked about something else right when you were talking about like something that actually means a lot to you. But I think there was a very awkward the dynamic of the conversation was very awkward. I feel like you were the one asking questions, and they asked you the same. They might, like, this person might have asked you like the same question as you just asked, maybe sometimes, but if for most of you, I think this person just didn't even ask any questions and just answered the questions themselves. And then you might have like since this person didn't ask you, you might have just told them like what you do for a living after a long awkward pause where you were waiting for them to ask you back, like ask. But yeah, I think when you then started talking about your job, they just didn't care, and I think it's because they don't really care about about you. Like they don't care about what's inside of you. They just care about the vessel, the shell, the package. They don't really care what's inside the package. They are just very superficial, very shallow. They just think about how you would look great on their Instagram account, standing next to them on pictures on the beach. Like they just think about appearance, and they think about like image and what, like they just want a trophy wife or a trophy husband. Like they don't want anything deep and meaningful, and I think you already know that. I think you knew that after like 10 minutes into the conversation with this person. I think you already knew what type of person this was. And but if you're thinking of having some kind of casual fling with someone, then I think this person is probably a good match for that sort of thing. If you don't want something serious and you just want to have fun, then you could hit this person up, because this person is mesmerized by your looks. They think you're very, very beautiful. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this Tarot Cats tarot deck, and I'm gonna start with some channeling, and then I'm gonna shuffle the cards for you. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2? The people who will choose group number 2. Group number 2. What did their last date think of them? How did the date go? How did group number 2's last date go? I feel like it was a bit awkward. Like it was. I feel like it. I feel like when you check out like a checklist, like then I feel like the date went well on paper. Like everything, like you got to talk about all the things that you're supposed to talk about on a date, and everything did seem to go as planned. But I feel like there was a lack of chemistry here, like that it just seemed awkward because there just seemed to be like something missing. But I'm gonna channel about what your date thought of you. What did group number 2's date think of group number 2? Okay, so I think this person is like very conventional, very very traditional. Like this person likes things to be a certain way, and I think maybe you were a bit too colorful, too interesting. Like maybe you talked about some spiritual stuff, or some witchy stuff or something. I don't know. Maybe something about astrology, or crystals, or maybe it wasn't even that revealing. Like maybe you had like kind of rehearsed this from, not rehearsed it, but like you might have told yourself before you went to the date that you didn't that you weren't gonna talk about anything, like anything spiritual, anything like that, because maybe you have had bad experiences with telling people about your spiritual side, and people didn't understand it, and people judged you for it. And so I think maybe before you went to this date, you had like, yeah, you were, I feel like you didn't want to bring it up, and you weren't going to. But I think your date might have asked you about something. Like maybe your date asked you about a bracelet that you had on, and asked you what gemstones it was, or something like that, and you of course answered because you were asked a question, and it would be rude not to answer that, and you might have told them that it was like some kind of gemstone, and then I think this person might have thought, oh, you're one of those people who care about gemstones and crystals and stuff like that, even though like it was a leading question. It was like putting up a trap for you, like and maybe it was a trap actually. Maybe they asked you just because they thought, just from seeing your pictures, or maybe you had met before, or like something, I don't know, but like prior to the date, I think this person might have gotten the impression that you were into some spiritual stuff. I don't know if somebody told them about it, or if they assumed it because maybe you have dyed your hair, and that's okay. Like everybody dyes their hair. It's not really, but maybe this person has a theory that everybody who dyes their hair has like a spiritual side to them, that they all believe in moon magic or something. I don't know, that it's like a whole stigma thing, like where it's like they really seem to navigate through life by putting people in categories, and I think this person really enjoys doing that, and they enjoy being right. And so whenever they have somebody figured out, they chuckle a bit on the inside, like it's kind of I feel like if you're thinking of going on a second date with this person, I think you shouldn't, even if I feel like this person wouldn't want to, because now they have you put in a box, and they have like this thing against people who are in this box. And so I feel like this person wouldn't be that keen on going on a second date with you. But I think if you asked them, I think they would maybe consider it, just because they are a bit lonely, or it is lonely being a dick. So it might, yeah, they might want some company at some point, and then they will like think, oh yeah, you weren't that bad. So like they would probably want to entertain the possibility of of you two at least sleeping together, but I don't know if like it's a yeah. But I feel like there are plenty of red flags here, so I wouldn't recommend going any further with this person, because this person does seem a bit manipulative and does seem to have like a lot of prejudice towards people, like everyone, and like this person is someone who's good to have on, like it's good to have this person on your side. Like if you were to become a thing in the future, I think it would be fun to be around this person, because this person is a bit funny when they make fun of other people. But it's just not fun to be the one being made fun of. And this person could end up being that type of person who's gonna make fun of you in the relationship, especially when they are comfortable enough to say everything to you. They might make jokes about you and humiliate you in public, and tell people that they have a crazy girlfriend or boyfriend, or like that sort of thing, and be like haha, but really like deep down they actually mean it, but it's kind of coming off like it's a bit like I don't know, it's yeah, I'm not really digging this energy. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how this date went. King of Cups. So it seems that like if you're the man, I think if you're the man, then maybe the person you dated thought you were a bit too spiritual, too interested in divination and astrology and the occult and stuff like that. If you're the woman, it's kind of the same thing, but if you're the I'm gonna like if you're the woman, how did the date go? With a Hierophant reversed, I think if you're the woman, that was what I was chanting on the inside when I was doing the shuffling. If you're the woman, I think it's the same thing. It's like with the Hierophant reversed, it's somebody who's into alternative treatment, into the alternative beliefs. Like the Hierophant is the traditional beliefs, whereas it being reversed is just somebody who's into some things that are not conventional, not traditional, not how it's supposed to be. Like, and I think this person might be more traditional, likes things to be a certain way. They might be a bit stubborn in their ways, so this person could be like, so one of the stubborn. Like I'm not gonna go into the whole zodiac sign thing, because I feel like this person doesn't. I don't even know if this person even knows what zodiac sign they have, because this person is so much a non-believer that they just don't even care. They probably know, but they would act like they don't know, just because it's kind of like this thing that they just look really down upon. So I'm gonna ask about what this person thought of you, the person you dated. What did your date think of you? Group number 2. Okay, King of Swords reversed. I think they thought of you as somebody who's not logical, someone who's not rational, someone who's more emotional, and maybe a bit hysterical, and in a very offensive way. Like, this is like, I don't even think you presented yourself as hysterical in any sense, but I think just because, like, this person has a stereotype in mind, and they think of somebody who is into astrology or tarot or spiritual stuff, like that's kind of all under some kind of subcategory of hysteria. They believe it's some kind of mental illness, and that it's like they believe that it's people who are not in touch with reality, who are being hyper emotional and hyper yeah, it's I don't know, it's something. I feel like this person just judged you really unfairly, and I feel like I really I really think you shouldn't take this personally. Like, don't, because this is somebody who's just completely blocked and completely, like, they are not. They are missing something. I think it's safe to say that, like, they live a life without wonder, and a life without wonder is very, very empty and very, very poor. And I think like, don't feel bad just because this one person thinks of you this way. Like, it is really like, the dating game is like, it's Russian roulette. Like, you like, it's, you never know which one is gonna be the prick, and like, sometimes you're just gonna have to yeah. There's also nothing wrong with, like, with going on a date with somebody who clearly isn't on the same wavelength as you, even though maybe you feel like intuitively you should have known before you went to the date that you should have known that it wasn't gonna work out, that this person was gonna be this way, like, but everything happens for a reason, and it's really hard to read for yourself. Like, it's hard to predict your own future. It's easier to predict other people's future because there is a force that has the power over us. It's our subconscious. It knows the future better than we do, and this is gonna make us go in directions where it's part of a higher plan. It's part of a bigger picture, and we don't see it right now, and we won't see it for a long time until we look back on it, and then we realize, okay, I needed to have this have this experience, so that because that led me somewhere else, like or that taught me something, or that everything has a purpose. And sometimes we go into something and maybe we feel intuitively that it's right, that it feels right, but it isn't, and then we feel like it must be because our intuition is off, but it's not. It's just we can't read for ourselves. Some things are blind. We get a blindfold on, and some experience are meant to happen, and it might even have something to do with the other person as well. That we are a sort of tool in order to make somebody else realize something. And sometimes we just need to realize that we are all pawns, that we're all pawns in some kind of bigger picture, that can be a bit frustrating, but it's but yeah, with the Five of Wands reversed, I feel like this person might have seen you as somebody who didn't take up the fight with them, and I think they actually kind of liked that about you. So I feel like on a positive note, on a high note, like this is actually, like, I think maybe this person kind of roasted you on some of your spiritual beliefs, but you didn't cave. Like you didn't. You just told them that that it's none of your business what they believe in, and you're not going to sit there and try to force them to believe in something they don't believe in. So it's like you're not the advocate for the spiritual belief that you have. Like you're not recruiting anyone. You're not a missionary. You're not trying to get people into your sect. Like you're just a believer, and you feel like it's your right to believe whatever you believe in, and they have the right to believe whatever they believe in. And I think you actually did show this person that you weren't gonna take their crap. And so I think they actually respected that you weren't gonna, that you didn't take the bait. You didn't, like, this person might have tried to get in a whole argument with you about your about beliefs, and you just said that is maybe that's maybe not it's not the right time for that sort of thing, and everything has a time and a place, and that it didn't feel right for you, and you didn't want to be tested on your beliefs, and you didn't want anyone to interrogate you, and you didn't need to have that sort of you didn't have to impress this person, or you didn't have to and I feel like this person saw that you weren't trying to explain it to them. You weren't trying to but I feel like that also kind of provoked this person. So this person can't really like. There's no way to please this person, because I think this person didn't like that. They respected it, but they also felt like, oh, you didn't try to that you should be more prepared, which is a bit weird. Like that this person felt like you should be more prepared to answer hard questions about your beliefs. That you should be able to defend your beliefs. That it's a cop-out to just say, you can believe what you believe, I believe what I believe, and we can all just be happy believing in what we all believe in. Like, we don't have to believe in the same thing. And I think this person just didn't like that answer, because they felt like, oh, it was too easy for you to just not be confronted on your, and not allowing this person to confront you on your beliefs. It wasn't what they expected. They expected you to go into a whole rant on your belief, and it's like, I think this person, like, I don't know. It's the, like, this person just wanted to kind of, like, again, put a trap up for you to fall into, so that they could say, like, I caught you there, like that. Now, like, yeah, that that the less you talked about your spiritual beliefs, the less they could actually roast you on it. Because if you're not saying anything about it, then they can't make fun of it. They can't tell you that's stupid, that's dumb, you're a stupid person for believing this. And they didn't have the opportunity to do that, and they felt a bit robbed from that experience. And it is a very sad story. Like, they really, like, they yeah, they were trying something, and it really didn't work out for them in the way that they really thought it would. Like, so, yeah, I'm gonna shuffle a bit more and see a bit more about what this person thought of you on your last date with this person. What did the Fool? So I think this person thought of you, I guess, as a bit of a fool. They also probably thought of you as very free-spirited, very kind of maybe a bit of a hippie, that, like, that maybe also they might also have felt like that you were doing something that is, like, scary, in a sense, where in a way I think this person is like, they like to make fun of things. They like to have a laugh on people's expense, and like, they enjoy that, but they also, I think they have a bit of a fear when it comes to spiritual stuff, when it comes to magic and the occult and stuff like that, alchemy and stuff like that. They feel like it's something they see it as something from a horror movie, something like, oh, they are afraid, like, if people are playing around with an Ouija board. Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, but something like that. Yeah. Then I think I think they like they might have seen that Spanish movie where the person who had done that like ended up being having their back bent like that in the air without anyone bending it, like that sort of scene where there was all of that shit going on, and that movie is based on like real stuff, and I think they might have seen this movie and kind of felt like, oh damn, like that's scary stuff. And I think maybe they are a bit afraid in some sense of something like that happening, and which kind of makes me kind of a bit puzzled, because this person is a non-believer, and for this person to actually be afraid of something happening if you play around with an Ouija board, then it kind of suggests that this person is not that much of a non-believer after all, that this person might even be running from something rather than actually just making fun of it because it's silly or something, that this person is actually a bit afraid of it, and finds it a bit scary, and so you can't be scared of something that isn't real, and it's kind of silly to do that, to be scared of that, of something that isn't real. So it kind of suggests that this, like, I don't know. I think this person is. This person might have experienced something. Maybe they have even experienced something themselves, like something creepy, like. So that might be why they are like making fun of it, because that's their way to cope with it, with what they have experienced, maybe. So, but I think, yeah, they thought of you as maybe a bit of a fool for humoring this the shadow side, and entertaining the idea or the possibility of something existing beyond what we can see, and like deep down, I think this person doesn't actually see it as a strange thought at all. They just have to make fun of it because it makes them less anxious in their everyday life, to believe that that's just nonsense, and that's just something that crazy people believe in. So, but it might even have been the reason why they actually chose to go on a date with you, is because they were hoping to get you to actually enlighten them on some of these topics, but they actually did, like, it's the whole double side of this. Like, it's they are curious, they want to know. Subconsciously they are seeking out people who have knowledge about the spiritual side, the spirit, like they are curious. So yeah, subconsciously they are driven towards these people. They are attracted to these types of people because they have there is something there. Like, I feel like this person might have some psychic abilities that are just passive, like they need to activate them and they are not going to, but they are like, or they are afraid of doing that, and they are coping in a weird way where it's just like they are just making fun of it, and like they look down, and again, like they might look down on people who have psychic abilities because they have psychic abilities themselves, and so they are just projecting, and they are seeing what they don't like about themselves. Like, they are criticizing what they don't like about themselves. Like, they see that in you and they hate it because they hate that part of themselves, and so they hate that part of you too. And so it's a whole thing. It's a bit yeah. But I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards. I know this reading is a bit of a roller coaster, where is going from like hating this person's guts to kind of understanding what's going on underneath all of the mean girl, mean boy energy, like that there is something going on deep down. And this person sees you as a priest. So it says facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Kind of weird for somebody to see another person like that as a channel of spiritual energy when they don't believe in channeling spiritual energy. Like, if they didn't believe that, they would just see you as a phony. And this card would have come out reversed, or it would have been one of the other cards that suggest there is even a phony card. Like, the card that there is a card that suggests somebody who is, I don't really remember what it's called, but it doesn't really matter because that card didn't come out. So but this suggests that this person actually thought you were the real deal. So I think they thought of you as somebody who actually can channel spiritual energy. And that is probably why they were drawn to you to begin with. Still, I feel like this might be so scary to this person. It might open too many doors if they went this way, and maybe they're like, since they are not in touch with that side of themselves, since they are so like detached from their soul, or they have that thing inside of them that is just like, they don't want it to come out because they don't want to be that type of person. They don't want to have that, like, they don't want to be made fun of, and they know that people are going to make fun of them if they came out as a spiritual person. Like, then they know that people are gonna make fun of them because they know that they have made fun of people for calling themselves spiritual or psychic, or like, so they know that they have criticized, they have judged people like that, and so of course people are gonna judge them for the same thing that they have judged other people for. And so it's scary. It's a scary thought to have this thing inside of you and believing that in something that you actually look at with so much disgust. It's sad, really. It's like this person is locking himself or herself into a cage where, like, it's, yeah, there is a lot of blocking out aspects of themselves that they don't like, and they are afraid of, maybe this person was bullied in like when they were younger, and so they bully people. Like, it's kind of that thing where it doesn't really make sense why people who were bullied would want to bully other people, but it's, I think it comes from a place where they feel like they have they have been criticized, they have been restricted their whole life. They can't be who they want to be because they feel like they are living for other people, so they feel like everybody else should be in the same miserable boat with them. They feel like everybody else should be restricted and everybody should just be like clones. Because they feel like they need to be that. They need to be bland and boring, and they can't live outside the box because the box is where they are comfortable. The box is what is keeping them from judgment from others. So it's a whole thing. But I don't know, like in the beginning I thought this person was just being a bit of a dick. Now I'm sensing that like there's a lot of insecurities that are lingering in the background and making this person like this person is a puppet to their own insecurities, and they are doing whatever is their insecurities are dictating them to do, and it's so I don't know, but I feel like the date probably did not go well. I feel like it could have gone worse. But again, like you fit into something where like this person is curious about you because there is something they need to know, they need to learn, and they are being they are constantly attracted to people like you, and there is a reason why they are pulled towards people like you, but they keep rejecting these people, so they just keep being in the dating game because they choose people like you, and then they reject the same people that they choose because of the same reason. Like they choose people like you because you're a spiritual, they reject you because you're a spiritual. It's like, and until they break this cycle, they will continue doing this for a long time, and it's a bit sad, but it is what it is. So yeah, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was somewhat helpful, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose the Wandering Star tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So group number 3, the Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3, group number 3, group number 3. How did their last date go? How did group number 3's last date go? Okay, I'm sensing very good things. Okay, very good energies coming through. Beautiful. Very much on the same page here. Like I think both of you were happy with how this date went. Like I'm sensing you both had good feelings afterwards, like that this actually went well, that so very wonderful, warm energy coming through, light energy, very like bright, happy, joyful. I think this person found you to be very light and very easy to talk to, and I think you felt the same way. I think that it's I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how the date went, how the date between you and your last date, how did your last date go? Two of Swords. I think it went very harmoniously, very like very balanced. Like the conversation was very balanced. Nobody had power over the conversation. Like nobody was taking the like. It seemed like it was equally like the conversation was very equal. Like there wasn't any party that was taking the whole burden of the conversation. Like nobody was being like, was just keeping the ball rolling. Like the ball kept rolling naturally, organically. Nobody had to force it. It seemed like it was just very, like it was flowing, balanced, like there's also something about like that you that it was so much more than just about superficial stuff. Like that you could talk about things that's deep things. That it wasn't shallow. Like the conversation wasn't shallow. It was very deep and philosophical, and it meant something. It meant and it felt like you were getting something out of it. Like it wasn't just you giving and giving and giving. It was a very good dynamic where it was like a good balance between give and take. You gave something, you put something on the table, the other person reciprocated that. Like it was all just very organic. Like it seemed very, very good, very balanced. Also very skillful, conversation wise. Like that, I think you were both very impressed with each other's communication skills. That you both were able to speak so freely, but also be tactful and actually be respectful of each other, and that that you were good at at social cues, like good at picking up social cues, good at feeling each other out and feeling what the other person like that it seemed like you were both very much on the same page. You both seemed to be very very observant of the other. Like whenever something, like whenever the conversation was getting like a bit too heated, the other person would like calm it down. When the conversation maybe got dragged out, the person dragging it out was very quick to say, "Oh, we might have been talking about this for too long now. Maybe we should talk about something else." Like so, it seemed like both of you had very good self-awareness and were very good at feeling the other person out, whether the other person was getting a bit tired of the conversation, or like that it was just very, but not in a bad way, where it was a good way, where in a good way where it was more respectful of the other person than, like, it wasn't like any of you were criticizing the other. It was just that the person could sense that now they needed to change the subject. Now they like that, and it seemed like it came from both sides. Like both of you were very good at keeping the conversation clean, keeping the conversation smooth, and it's just, yeah. I'm gonna shuffle some more and see what the cards have to say about how. I'm gonna ask how this person, what this person. I'm gonna channel about this. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3? What did this person think of group number 3? What did group number 3's date think of them? Of group number 3? Funny. I think this funny, interesting, very light, very joyful, good at smiling, good at like very, very welcoming. You had a very welcoming presence. Okay, so with the Chariot, I think this person saw you as very very successful, very victorious. You're like, this person looked up to you but for some reason the Lovers came out reversed. So I don't know if, I feel like this person really enjoyed this date. This person saw you as their equal. They saw you as somebody they could talk about deep things with, things that they might not be able to talk to everybody about. They felt like you were both on the same wavelength, and they also looked up to you and saw you as maybe a bit smarter than them. That you brought some very interesting stuff on the table, and you matched them, and you might even have maybe exceeded their expectations. And I don't think they thought that was possible, because they really went into this state with very high expectations. So for you to actually exceed them, I think this person was maybe caught off guard. Maybe it felt a bit too real. Of course, the Lovers is also about a decision, making a decision, and having to make a decision. And with it reversed, it might indicate two things. But I'm gonna have to clarify this. But because it could mean that this person just felt like there was no competition. Like you were the only one this person was interested in, and after the date, that maybe you became the first choice after the date, and maybe they had some other people lined up or something, I don't know. But this also, with the Lovers reversed, it kind of makes me think that there was something a bit frightening about this as well. If somebody is sometimes you can find someone and they check out every box, and it's just perfect, and you get scared because maybe you're not really ready. And I feel like this person might have felt that way, that so there's something here, maybe they weren't ready for this to go so deeply, that this person might be someone who likes to keep a distance, emotional distance from people. this person might not like it when people get too close, because it makes them feel claustrophobic. It makes them feel like there's no turning back, like they can't go, they can't get out of it, like that they feel like it's a violation to their freedom to be too invested in another person, too close, too it also gives them maybe like a sense of responsibility, makes them feel like they actually have to do something, and that if they don't do something, like if they don't put in an effort, they are sabotaging a good thing, and they might feel like there's too much expectation going on. Like expectation for this to work out. Maybe they are also afraid of falling in love, because they are afraid that maybe they are gonna sabotage this, and so they are afraid of getting too caught up in something and then fucking it up right at the finish line. Like just they might be afraid of themselves, like what they might feel like, oh, you're great, it's not that, like the problem is not you, it's them. It's they are afraid that they are gonna have the best thing that has ever happened to them, and knowing that, like in the future, knowing that they sabotaged it, they threw that away, they couldn't handle it properly, and then it's just easier to just walk away, like right before it even starts, because then there's no, like, then there's no wondering whether it would have been different if they had done this or that, or so I'm gonna shuffle and get this card clarified with these Gypsy Oracle cards. So I want the Lovers reversed clarified, Death reversed. This person is afraid of death. I think this person is afraid of people dying. That was also something I was I was channeling before. Like there's something this person is. I think this person is really fearful when it comes to death, and it might be because they have lost a lot of people in their life. Maybe they lost one of their parents recently. Maybe they lost somebody, like a friend. Maybe, yeah, there might be something that has happened in their life that was really tough, and it has to do with death. So whenever they want to get in a relationship with somebody, they end up sabotaging it themselves, because it's their defense mechanism. They are trying to defend themselves from the grief of having to lose somebody in their life, and it might happen subconsciously. It might be their body that, like that. Sometimes it's the body that remembers the grief, the sorrow, and so it creates a shield. It protects the person from that ever happening again. So they kind of, it might happen subconsciously. It might be something where it might not even happen in their mind. Like it might be something about their body signalizing to stay away, by maybe giving them like aches, like every time they think of like that. this person might have, like, I don't know if this person excused themselves at the date, like went home early or something. I don't know, but like that might have been because they had pain, like physical pain, like a headache, back pain, stomach pain, something that was causing them to just feel like they couldn't stand being there anymore, like they needed to go home. And this ache might have come from their body trying to keep them away from having to feel that sort of sorrow again. And it's creating some kind of protective shield around them so nobody gets close again. Close, and sometimes it, like, the body is like, yeah, it like, especially if this person hasn't really dealt with whatever they went through, like if they haven't dealt with the death of their parent or that family member or that close friend, then they will keep being in this cycle where they keep pushing people away, and they might not want to do that themselves. Like it might not be a process that's going through their mind. It's just happening subconsciously, I think. I don't know, but with if like there might, I was getting something before about maybe your your date had somebody like had a close relationship with somebody who had anorexia and might have passed away, or might have become very, very ill because of anorexia. And I think like I know this is very specific for some of you, but yeah, and I think this person got to witness what this friend or family member was going through, and it took such a toll on this person. So if you're very, very skinny, or if you have shown that maybe if you've told this person that, or if you told this person on the date that you were on a diet or something, that might have been a red flag for this person, because it might have made them spiral into like thinking that, oh shit, what if you're going through something similar, and what if they have to witness that again with you, and that might have been so scary to them that they just closed off. So I don't know, but yeah. But I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards, just to get a bit more information on what your date thought of you. What did your date think of you? Group number 3. Hedonist reversed. So maybe this person was afraid that you had an eating disorder, and that might have put a big shadow on the whole date, because everything else seemed perfect. But I feel like maybe that made this person a bit afraid, like anxious, because maybe they have experienced that before, and maybe they haven't experienced anything with anorexia before, but they might have experienced so much death and so much sorrow in their life that they just feel like that is like, if you have some an eating disorder, then that's just gonna be one more thing adding to their chain of grief in some way. Like, so I think that probably was making this person nervous. But what else did? Exorcist. This card says, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. So I feel like this person saw you as an exorcist or as a healer. That this person could see that talking to you was very healing. It made them feel very comfortable. It made them feel like they could share anything with you, that they could be completely honest with you, and that you dealt with their dark side. Like, you weren't afraid of the dark. You didn't seem to be scared off by the darkness that this person might have presented to you. Like, this person might have talked about some depression that they had in the past, or some heartbreak, some bad experiences, and maybe a lot of grief from experiencing death from an early age or something like that. And I think this person was impressed that you didn't get scared of that. Like, you didn't run off, and maybe you even talked about maybe you two even talked about some of the darker things. Like, maybe you talked about some of the darker things that you have experienced, and I think, like, this person just felt that you two were very much on the same wavelength. Maybe this sounds a bit like, of course this doesn't sound that great, but but I feel like maybe when this person was sharing some of their dark side, dark things, they might not have expected you to share your dark stuff with them. They might have gotten a bit scared of your dark things, whereas you were very tolerant and open to their dark side. And so, of course, a bit of I did say in the beginning that the conversation seemed very balanced, and I think it was, but I think deep down, I think he or she, the person you dated, felt like, especially if you shared something about having depression or suicidal thoughts in the past, this person might have been scared that, oh no, this person could lose you if that's like, what if you got suicidal again? Like, would you hang yourself in a closet, and would they find you there? Like, that sort of thing. It's very, very dark, I know, but this person might have gotten all these, like, worst case scenarios playing in their mind, and even though you two were very much on the same wavelength, you and very, very good conversation, like, you got very good conversation out of it. They might have felt like maybe, like, they can't lose somebody else. That it seems like a big pattern here. Like, there's something, there is a big anxiety in this person. Like, yeah, I'm gonna shuffle one more card about what this person thought of you on the date. Destroyer reversed. So this person saw you as the opposite of a destroyer. Like this person saw you as somebody who builds up, somebody who's like maybe also somebody who internalizes instead, like somebody who implodes instead of explodes. That you internalize some of the bad things that have happened in your life. That maybe you talked about your childhood, and maybe you could both. Maybe you could bond over the fact that both of you were the type of child who internalized, who didn't explode, who didn't get aggressive, but you started like hearing voices, or like not hearing voices, but like hearing that voice inside of you that tells you that you're a terrible person and nobody's gonna love you, and that sort of internalizing the chaos around you and taking the chaos inside of you and inside your mind and dealing with it in there in a very sabotaging way, instead of sabotaging things in the in your environment, like some children do, like start throwing things and kicking holes in the wall and stuff like that. Then you might have just been kicking holes inside of you, like and maybe you both bonded over being that child, but maybe this person felt like maybe this maybe it wouldn't be a good dynamic for you to both internalize all the chaos, because there's inevitably gonna be chaos here, because you're both maybe a bit been through a lot, like both traumatized from something, and so there's maybe gonna be some chaos. And maybe if you both internalize it, and if nobody's there to kind of that maybe there is a need for somebody to explode, just so that the feelings have some kind of outlet, and to deal with it out there in that it's I don't know, it maybe this person feels like both of you are too submissive, and that none of you are the dominant part, and that you're maybe both overprotective, and would be both overprotective of each other and over aware of each other's feelings, and that is a good thing. But maybe this person feels like you are both too alike, and that it's a bit scary, because this person might want some like I hate to say this, but maybe this person feels like they need someone who has had a picture perfect childhood where everything was safe, and like they need somebody who's been raised in a very like solid foundation sort of childhood, where that this person might feel like you're too alike. You have two similar stories. You have been through the same, and when you've been through the same, there's no one who takes the pity parade, and nobody like and maybe this person wants to have like the pity parade a bit, like in the most like respectful way possible. Like I say this in the most respectful way possible. I think this person is a good person, and I think you're a good person, and I feel like this would be a good relationship, like objectively speaking, from like just looking at it from the outside. I think you could actually learn a lot from each other, and I think it would actually work very well that you have a similar story, because I think that makes you understand each other on a deeper level, and I think that is precious. But I think this person just feels like they want to be the one pitied, or like they don't want to compete for the who gets like who for like they want to be the one who has had it worse in some capacity. I don't know why, but I feel like that's a need for them. They want somebody to take care of them, take pity on them, adopt them like a stray dog, like, and maybe they feel like two stray dogs can't figure it out together, and I feel like that's sad, a sad point of view, but it might be valid for some of you. I don't know. I don't know what is going. I feel like this is what's going through this person's mind. I don't know if this person can be talked out of it, but I feel like that is what they'd thought during the date. I don't know if they would change their mind afterwards, maybe after talking to somebody else about it. They might have gotten some sanity from somebody else, from hearing somebody else's point of view. So I don't think this is completely doomed, because I feel like you both actually had a very good experience here. I think there's just anxiety that is blinding this person from seeing what could be. They have a hard time envisioning this, because they feel like you're too alike. And they are also afraid of the fact that they might have to be the strong one for you sometimes. Like, whenever you're having an episode because of your past and because of your trauma, like, they don't know if they could actually take care of another person, that they could take care of you in that situation. So there's that. But overall, I feel like you had very deep conversation, very good, harmonious, balanced conversation. I think you really matched each other on a deeper level. I think your souls really matched each other's energies. Like, it's very, I think there's a lot of potential here. I think it's a shame that this person lets their anxiety blind them from seeing the amount of potential that this has. So, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Tarot D, the Didactic Tarot, and I'm gonna start with some channeling, and then I'm gonna shuffle the cards for you. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4? The people who will choose group number 4. How did group number 4's date go? The last date, how did it go? I feel like it went so-so. Like, it could have been better, it could have been worse. kind of in the middle, maybe a bit less than average, like maybe a bit below average. It wasn't. It wasn't. I feel like it could have gone better. It could have, like on an objective scale, I think it wasn't great. Like it wasn't. But it went so. Like I feel like maybe it didn't go very well, but I feel like the person you were on a date with didn't really judge you personally for this that it went badly. I feel like there might have been external forces that made this go badly. So maybe something happened. Maybe like maybe you were caught up in traffic. Maybe you ended up running late. Maybe you had to go early. Maybe there was something else, like maybe somebody called you in the middle of the date because there was a crisis that you had to figure out, like that there was something you needed to do. I don't know, but I feel like there was something that interrupted the date, and maybe like it didn't have anything to do with you, it didn't have anything to do with them, or maybe it did have something to do with them, like if they, but I feel like it wasn't like, I don't know, it seems that it went a bit so, and I feel like it I'm gonna do some channeling about what this person thought of you. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4? How did their person, the person that they dated, how did this person that they dated, how did they think of group number 4? I feel like this person might have I think this person thought of you as a bit like a bit hard to understand. Like there was something, I don't know if you chose a place where it was very loud, like a restaurant that was very loud, or a bar that was very loud, but I feel like this person had a hard time hearing you, hearing what you said, or understanding what you said, and it made it very hard for this person to really get a sense of who you were, because it seemed like they were constantly being interrupted, like and they only got like maybe 2/3 of the conversation, like they couldn't hear the rest, and so they just tried to figure out the context, but they it's like there was some external forces that just kept interrupting this state, I feel like. Of course, this person could also have had schizophrenia or something that made it really loud, but I don't know about that one. Like, but there's just something about noises, like loud noises. So I feel like there is a heart here, and there is like a fountain, and I feel like it seems that in a way you had strange chemistry, but the date went so-so. But I feel like you had bodily chemistry, like even though you couldn't quite hear each other, even though you were interrupted by other things, even though there were all these external forces trying to break you apart, kind of like, because it seemed like a lot of things going on. It seems like despite all that, there was chemistry. And I think both of you, because this crap here, they are holding hands. There's two crabs holding hands, and so there's odd chemistry. And I think both of you could sense this chemistry. But there are two people here, and they are underwater. They are both underwater, and they are trying to get together. Like they are trying to communicate with each other in some capacity, and they are underwater, so it's kind of hard. And so I think that's kind of the thing. Like it's like you two were talking underwater. Like you couldn't quite hear each other, because it's like all of this person could also have had a hearing thing. Like maybe this person has really bad hearing, so everything, like maybe this person has swimmer's ear, so everything sounds like a bit like underwater to them. That they probably should get that checked out. But if that's not the case, I know that's very specific for some of you, but I feel like maybe there was like there was a problem with hearing each other clearly. But I feel like this person saw you as very elegant, very maybe one person like, because there's one who is a mermaid and the other one is not a mermaid. Like this one is a mermaid, this one has normal feet. So maybe one person could hear the other, but the other person couldn't hear the other. So maybe this person felt like maybe you were in a very loud restaurant, or a bar. But maybe this person that you were dating had a very strong voice. So maybe you were able to hear what they said, but maybe you have a bit of a more soft voice. They also say some people are a bit deaf when it comes to people who have very high voices. It's so voices that are like lighter in their tone, so maybe you have if you have a light, soft voice, very a bit high pitched, maybe then maybe this person just couldn't hear you, because maybe the bass came in and kind of just swallowed it all. If there was a lot of loud music, it might have just cancelled it out, and it might have been hard for this person to hear you. So maybe it's just all just external things, and maybe it doesn't really have anything to do with you. You couldn't really have been like yelling or maybe you tried to yell, but it really maybe it didn't help that much. But I feel like there's just external stuff that just got in the way. But I feel like there might have, like, even though this happened, I feel like there is that chemistry, like with the Little Mermaid, the Disney version, that maybe you both kind of have this sense of chemistry, even though you don't actually know each other, but you both kind of want to sacrifice everything to see if this works out, even though you have absolutely nothing to go by. Like you don't have enough information about each other to actually form an opinion about whether this is worth it or not, but you're willing to give it a shot, I think. So I would be very surprised if you couldn't get a second date with this person, because I think this person is still curious to know more about you, and this person, I think this person is a romantic, and I think this person senses chemistry more than they, like, this person isn't that, like, I feel like this person isn't very focused on, like this person is more focused on chemistry. Like this person is very keen on chemistry, feeling if your bodies are aligning perfectly together, like something, this person is more instinctual, I think. So I think maybe this person wouldn't really mind if you have a job that's a bit alternative or something, or if you have some beliefs that this person doesn't believe in, or like this person, there aren't really any verbal deal breakers that you could come with, like something where you told this person something and that would be a deal breaker for this person. I don't think there are any sort of things that this person wouldn't tolerate. So in that sense, they are very non-judgmental. Is this person a bit superficial? Maybe, but I feel like it's not necessarily that this person is so focused on appearance. I think it's more like this person goes by chemistry. They look for somebody that they have good chemistry with. If the chemistry is there, they want to see it through. And I think they feel like there's chemistry here. There is like something unspoken, some kind of spark that is interesting for this person. I'm gonna shuffle some more cards about what this person thought of you. So in this card here, like there is a phoenix and a turtle, and I think this person sees you as somebody who's very patient and also very like that you're like a phoenix, that you have been through something that made you the person you are today. So maybe this person did get some of the things that you talked about. Like they might just have lost some words and felt like they didn't really get the context. But I think from what they heard on the date, like from what they could puzzle together, I think they know by now that you have been through something difficult, and that you that you healed yourself and got through it, and that you were able to maybe also go through it on your own, like that you managed to get yourself out of a cycle that was maybe bad for you. Maybe this has something to do with drug addiction or anorexia or alcoholism or something with mental illness or something, I don't know, depression or like. But the thing is that like that this person could get out, like could understand from what you told them. I think they understood it in the that you had overcome that it was an obstacle that you overcame, that you were able to get on the other side of it, and that you might not have needed any professional help to get you out of it. That it seemed like you were able to do it pretty much on your own, and I think this person actually respects that a lot. I don't think this person has a lot of respect for the psychiatry. I think this person looks down on any sort of medicine. I think this person has the belief that doctors just make people ill, that they don't actually heal anyone, that they are just making people more sick. And so this person might be very skeptical when it comes to doctors and psychiatrists and all of that. And so if you told this person that you didn't go that route, that you fixed it on your own without having to take any medicine or get any sort of counseling or treatment or therapy, then I think this person was very impressed with that and thought of that as the right way to deal with that, and that probably put you on a bit on a pedestal for this person. This person looked up to you for making that choice because it fits in their belief system of or their conspiracy theory, I guess. But nevertheless, I think this, even though this person has that belief and believes that very strongly, they are pretty non-judgmental when it comes to a lot of other things. I think there is a very good reason behind this person's skepticism. It probably stems from this person having to see their family members get sick from doctors giving them bad prescriptions and over medicating them, and so they might have experienced that firsthand or secondhand, or that they have seen it and they have witnessed it, and so they just they have a reason why they are skeptical. And if you had said that you were seeing a psychiatrist and were on many different medications, this would have been a turn off for this person, because then they would think that you're a slave to big pharma, and And that would be the superficial answer they would get, but the deep subconscious answer would be that they are completely frightened that you end up over-medicated, sick from doctors just mistreating you and giving you the wrong prescription, and that would be too hard for them to bear. So it's an anxiety thing. They are anxious of history repeating itself, and for good reason. I think this person really went through it. Like, they had a really bad experience with someone they loved being mistreated by doctors. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards to get a bit more information on how this person thought of you, what this person thought of you, the person you dated, what did this person think of you? Midas, Miser, very good card. It says entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. And so I think this person sees you as very creative, somebody who can turn anything to gold. They see you as somebody who has very much potential, somebody who's likely gonna be successful in the future. I think this person looks up to you and sees you as a warrior spirit, like somebody who can endure a lot of things, and maybe the story that you've told about your past has also shown this person that you can overcome anything. And so you're not somebody who's going to be scared away just because you fail once. Like, you're going to try again, and that you have shown this person proof that you're resilient, and that you can't be broken, and that you're also just very, very talented and skillful, and that you have a very bright future ahead of you because you're very, very creative, and you also have a business sense. You know what is gonna sell on the market. Like, you know what people want, and you have a good sense of the market. I think this person sees you as a star, like, but I feel like the date did not go very well, but I feel like that's also, like, it says a lot when like, I think it's more like there was so many expectations for this date. And when this date didn't go as planned, it didn't live up to the expectations. And I don't think it has anything to do with you. I don't think it has anything to do with them. But I feel like there is a bit of disappointment from both sides, because it felt like nothing really happened the way that it should have. Like, maybe you maybe you reserved a table at a restaurant, but then, like, when you got there, the reservation was cancelled or something, and like there might have just been some things where it just seemed like everything just was off. Like, maybe you used your credit card and it said that it rejected your credit card or something, and like you knew there were money on it, and you didn't feel like, you felt like it put you in a bad position towards this person, because it made it seem like you went on a date without any money, but you actually had money on your card, but it just rejected the card because there was something wrong with the card, and or the bank or the whatever. Like there was something was down, and it didn't have anything to do with you, and you might have explained that, or you might have felt like maybe they didn't really buy your explanation. Or maybe they explained this to you, and or maybe it was on their part, that maybe they had a problem with their credit card, and you thought it was their way to like get you to pay for the date. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Like I know it's hard to believe, maybe, but I think it actually was just. I think it was just an error. I don't think this person planned it. I think it was just an error that was out of this person's control. So, but there might have just happened a lot of things where it seemed like the universe was trying to pull you two apart. But I don't think that's I think it was more a test, like a test to see if this relationship can go the extra mile, and I think it can. So I think it would be worth it to see this person again, or hit this person up and ask them if they want a date with you. Of course, if this person has ghosted you, then of course just leave it. But if this person hasn't, then maybe see if there's something here, because I think there was just a lot of external factors at play, and I don't think it actually had anything to do with you or this person. Like it was just a lot of disruptions from, yeah. And I think there is something here. I'm going to shuffle some of these Gypsy Oracle cards to get a bit more information on what this person thought of you. Cheerfulness. This person thought of you as very cheerful. I'm not gonna get the cards because there are a lot of them, and they are just on the floor now, and there's like, they are all the same. Like, well, no, not really. Actually, I'm gonna get the cards that actually turned the upside. Like these two actually, like all the other cards are like this on the floor, and these were like this. So turned around, I guess. So I just want to read the ones that was turned around. Because the other ones are turned turned downwards, so no point in that. So okay, so with the surprise card, I feel like this person thought of you as a surprise. I think they were surprised. I think and in a good way, because this person is fishing money. And so again, okay, so I feel like there's maybe a reason why you thought this person was a gold digger. And maybe you thought, oh, the whole thing with the credit card, that was staged. It was all like they just planned it ahead of time, and they were just gonna say, oh, oops, my card isn't working. And the thing is that I get why you think that, because maybe this person was very, very intrigued with your success, and like talked a lot about, oh yeah, you're gonna make so much money in the future, and oh, maybe they even said like, oh, am I gonna be a kept wife or kept husband or something like that, and they might have been joking about that or something. But it kind of might have rubbed you the wrong way, where you felt like, okay, is that what this person wants? Do they just want somebody who's gonna take care of them, like financially? Is that what they are looking for? In a way, I think this person is like, I think this person does enjoy stability. And yeah, they like to be with somebody who can turn anything to gold. And they like to find the money bag, like find the jackpot at the end of a pond, like this money bag with 6,000 whatever in it. And yes, it's money is definitely a thing for this person. And maybe this person is kind of dating for, like, they know they can't date somebody who is like a millionaire. They know that's unrealistic. They have probably never found a millionaire to date. And they might have been on Tinder swiping, and none of them were like big bosses at a big firm or like something like that. And so, or like big CEOs, like, I don't know. But so maybe this person has kind of got, like, they might have given up on the idea of finding a millionaire to date. And so they are looking for people who have very good potential. So this is a compliment, but yeah, so they might have chosen you because they saw potential in you. They thought to themselves that, oh, somebody like you could very well be the next big thing on the internet, or like the next next big business owner, or like that you have a star quality to you. And I think this person was very intrigued by that, to the point where maybe this person has been thinking quite egotistically and thought, oh, this would be nice for them to be with somebody who is gonna be famous and make money and be successful. But again, it's a compliment. It's like, and I think I don't know if I should judge this person, because I think, like, if I would probably also focus on that if I was dating someone who was a YouTuber or somebody, and they had like 20,000 followers on YouTube, and I was like, damn, then I would probably think, oh yeah, that sounds promising, and I would probably, I don't know if I would though. It really depends on the person. I wouldn't, but I guess it would be some kind of factor that I would judge someone on. Like, I would probably look past some other flaws if that person was very successful, like maybe not on YouTube, but if it was somebody who was a very successful business owner, for instance, I would probably look past their very bad mustache, or like their like if their fly was open the whole time, like I would probably let that slide, because they are a big business owner, so they can have their fly open if they want to, because that they have earned that, like, in some sense. But I don't know if, not that I don't think you had your fly open the whole time. By the way, like but And even if you had, I think this person thought that you had earned that because you're a big business owner, if you are. So I guess, but I don't know. It's I don't think you should judge this person right away just because I am like, just have it in mind, like put it in the back of your mind, that yeah, there is a possibility that this person is a bit of a gold digger, but aren't we all like a bit? Isn't it something that we all kind of like? Like, but yeah, keep that in mind. Like, if there are other things that happens, like if you go on a date with this person again, and this person kind of expects you to pay, or like if you paid for the last date and you go on a date with this person again, and they still don't want to pay, or they still say that their credit card isn't working, or they still come up with some kind of excuse, and then it's a pattern. But the single episode, the one episode of this person using an excuse not to pay, might just be a single episode that it doesn't have a chain to it. Like, maybe it's just one beat and there's no chain. Could be. But if it happens again, then of course it's a pattern. Then it's something you need to analyze on and need to ask yourself, is that the sort of person you want to be with? Yeah, and if this person keeps glorifying your business and keeps like talking about, oh, you're gonna or start, like, they may glorify your business. That's nice. That's just complimentary, and like it's a good thing. But if this person keeps saying like something like, oh, they would like to be with someone who works, and they would rather like to be at home watching the children or something like that, then that might be then you might ask yourself, like, is that the serious energy you're looking for? I think you would probably want somebody who has equal amounts of ambitions as you have. You want to be a power couple with someone. You don't want to have someone just freeloading. That's not very flattering. And so if this person turns out to be a freeloader, don't give this person too much of your time. If this person rejects the next date, if you ask for another date, I think the reason probably is because they felt like you weren't going to be the money cow that they expected you to be, that maybe you had some kind of restrictions for this person, that you were maybe a bit, maybe you demanded that they would take the next bill, or like if you paid now that you would want them to pay the next time or something. Like, if you said that, then that is maybe why they don't want another date with you, because they are broke and they are just looking for a free meal. And so I don't know. But there is a respect for you here. Like, this person has a lot of respect for you, but whether they just want, like, I feel like this respect for you is also kind of idolizing you, and they will maybe they see you more as somebody who's going to take care of them, and they don't really think about what they can contribute with. They just think of you as this very resilient person. And I think the reason why they also glorify the fact that maybe you took care of your own problems without seeking help, that signalize to them that you're not the type of person who asks for help. And so they feel like that's maybe easy for them, because then you're not going to ask them for help either. Then you're just going to figure everything out on your own, and they don't have to be bothered. And I feel like that's not, it's not good. It's not necessarily a good thing to glorify. And even if this person has a reason behind it, that they are skeptical of big pharma and all of that, it still gives off a bit of an icky vibe. Like I don't know. I'm not really feeling this, but I feel like maybe you might need to see it through on your own, because I feel like maybe for some of you this person could change, and maybe this is just how they are right now, because they are broke right now, and so they are just surviving, and so they give off a very unflattering sort of image because they are surviving. This person might have a drug problem, and so they are constantly just saving up money for drugs, and so when they go on a date they don't want to pay, because every time they are just thinking about their next fix, and so they just see you as a tool to get there. And so but that's maybe just now. Like maybe in the future, when they get their shit together, they might look back and think, oh, they shouldn't have used you. They should have treated you differently. But they might not have that clarity right now, because their mind might be impaired. Like they might not be seeing things clearly, and so there might be a lot of factors at play that makes this person very unflattering right now. But they might change. Like nobody says that people can't change. But yeah, and maybe you do want to take care of somebody who's in who's in a rut right now, who needs help to get further, who's at a dead end and doesn't know how to get past it. Maybe you have, like, if you have a savior complex, then this might be perfect for you. But if you are the type of person who doesn't want to be with some lost cause and try to save somebody like that, then maybe not. Maybe try to look for other types of, like, maybe date somebody, some other type. Like maybe you're dating the same type, and maybe that's the same type always ends up being a disappointment. And maybe if you started dating someone who is maybe up your standard, like maybe someone who is a business owner themselves, or maybe someone who is a boss or a CEO, or like has a big has some kind of career, and isn't just on like what's it called, like someone who doesn't like this person. I don't know why, but I feel like this person doesn't have a job, or if they have a job, it's a very very bad one, like very low, very like minimal pay type of thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's honest work. But it's like if this person is in a situation where they are in an apartment that's way too expensive for them, then they need to figure something else out. Like they can't just expect someone to come in and save them from that situation. They need to save themselves and figure it out on their own. Then maybe in the future, when this person has their shit together, then maybe this would be good for. But I don't know. It's up to you whether you want to save this person or whether you don't. and want something more, want something else where you actually get cared for, like by somebody else, or like get a more like give and take balance between give and take, where you care for somebody and you're overprotective of somebody, but that person is also caring and overprotective towards you. And so it's like this beautiful love cycle where it's just like calm and fuzzy and sweet and nice inside of it. If you want that, then maybe this is not it. Like because this person is a bit selfish, a bit egotistical, but there is a chemistry here. And I feel like both of you can feel it, but it's like, I feel like this person wants to go on a date with you, another date with you. It's just up to you whether you want to go on a date with this person again. Like, but yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye!